Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Battle of the Sexes. In addition to loving movies, I am a pretty big tennis fan. So when I saw that one of the more iconic moments in tennis history was finally coming to the big screen, I was pretty pumped. Then that first trailer came out, it looked fantastic. All of the buzz has been great. Yeah, I was really excited for this film. And it did not let me down. I loved this movie. So let's go ahead and kick off with those positives. First of all, the actors are so good here. This is the best I have ever seen Emma Stone in anything. She completely embodied and encapsulated Billie Jean King. From the look, to the walk, to the mannerisms, she just lived the tennis icon. And she just had so much nuance in this performance. And on the surface, it doesn't necessarily seem like it should be that difficult to play, but she's asked to do a lot of heavy lifting in a lot of different arenas when it comes to this film. And I just thought she did fantastic, even further than just capturing Billie Jean's essence with all of the acting ability. She was so good. Steve Carell was also very, very good. Huge kudos to the makeup and costuming department and the hair department, because he looked just like Bobby Riggs. I mean, like, identical. But he also pulled off the character so well. Again, of course, he did the big, over-the-top, chauvinistic nonsense really well, but he really shined in the more subtle moments with Bobby Riggs. Those underlying worries, the underlying sadness, the underlying insecurity. It all came through really well with Steve Carell's performance. I also loved Sarah Silverman, which actually is a shock, because usually I can't stand her. But she was so good in this movie. She wasn't asked to do a whole lot here, but she played this like agent so well. She was so funny, so likable. I loved her. I thought she was fantastic. Bill Pullman was here, also very strong. He pulled off this like skeezy role so well. And the only real big like misfire for me comes with love. I'm sorry, Alan Cumming, I love you, but that accent was not good. It all just seemed a little bit too affected. It all just was a little bit overacted and over the top. Still a fun character, had his moments, but one of the weakest spots in the acting. So as a tennis fan, I already knew this story. I knew what the outcome was going to be. I knew a lot of the events leading in, and I think the film was so good in keeping me still invested, keeping me excited, keeping me glued to the screen the entire time, including in the tennis matches, that I already knew what the final score was going to be. I was still like enthralled watching it. So huge kudos to the scriptwriter as well as the direction here, because it all just came together so beautifully. And right along those lines, this film is titled Battle of the Sexes, because the ultimate event that we're cataloging here is the Battle of the Sexes match. That was this huge deal. But that title is a double entendre, because this is definitely Billie Jean King's story. This is definitely her movie. It's not a complete like biopic. It's not a complete telling of her life. But we start here right before that infamous like dollar picture happens, and it really showcases what an amazing woman she was. And I'm just so happy that this tennis legend and feminist icon got her due and got her story told on the big screen in such a beautiful and fantastic way. And I loved how they handled her sexuality in this film. And again, the nuance that took place here of her own discovery, but that deep struggle within herself and how suppressing who she was affected all aspects of her life. And I thought that was really just fantastic. As for negatives in this film, and yes, there are a few. First of all, for the movie called Battle of the Sexes, all of these issues are brought up, and all of the like feminist issues and talking points are there, but they all feel a little bit surface level. it never feels like we really delve in to what's going on here. We never really get down to the bottom of it. And that goes in tandem with Billie Jean King's accomplishments themselves. If you don't know tennis all that well, what were the stakes? What really was that risk she took by breaking off for women's rights? I don't feel like the movie established what a monument it was for her to go off and create this and do this and get women this league. And then showcase how successful it became and what a big deal it was. And I think the film could have highlighted her accomplishments more, but also gone deeper into all of the different things. We got very generic, just kind of like chauvinist males, domineering males, and feminists fighting back to prove their worth, but we never got dirty with it. It all was just like shiny and movie clean. I also feel that several of our characters that weren't Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs were a little bit one note. One in particular definitely was Margaret Court. I know that she has kind of a bad reputation. She's not my favorite person on the personal level when it comes to tennis either. But they did paint her out as just kind of like this villain off to the side, like on her own mission. And I wish they would have gave her just a little bit more depth and made her not such like a paper female tennis player in the corner type figure in the film. But really, most of our side characters are kind of that one note. And the funny thing is, Alan Cumming kind of gave one of the worst performances acting-wise, but his character has some of the most poignant moments in the film. And that does kind of take away from my negative here, because I think her husband, Larry King, as well as her like mistress, her lover here, so many of these side characters do get great development. But I think that makes the others who are one note and paper thin stick out even more. But overall, as I said, I loved this film. It's instantly one of my favorite films of the year to this point. I think it was extremely heartfelt. I think it was a lot of fun. I was smiling through and through. It was beautifully acted. The script was fantastic. It was just quick and witty. Loved the script. The directing was fabulous. This movie doesn't break new ground in storytelling or sports films. It goes by a pretty general plot and formula that we've seen time and time again. But it's executed to near perfection. So I say give Battle of the Sexes a full price ticket. I loved it, and I think this is an awards contender that is also going to play out as a big crowd pleaser. So I think you'll enjoy it too. So that has been my review of Battle of the Sexes. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below, and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Battle of the Sexes? And what is your favorite Battle of the Sexes film to date? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!